I would like to open my speech by giving thanks to Middle River's faculty, our caring community, and the parents of families of this year's graduating class. Thank you for continuing to teach, support, and advocate for us during this difficult time. This COVID-19 pandemic has had an unexpected effect on our lives and has changed the end of our school year. But I would like to thank you all for continuing to support us as we endure this together. I do not want to dwell on the devastation of this situation, but rather focus on everything good that has happened to us this year and share some of our accomplishments. Through our time at Middle River, whether this has been our first year or our sixth year as a Minutemen, we have grown together and shared unique experiences that will last us a lifetime. We will have unique memories of participating in sports teams, having team dinners, weekend practices, and for some lucky teams, trips to Barry or other finals games. Or participating in the arts, playing an instrument in concerts, performing at Bistro, acting in the State Drama Festival, or displaying artwork around the school, or being a member of the Interact Club and making Valentine's Day cards or community service or other countless experiences that we have enjoyed. Even just some of the little things that we enjoy, like going to class, seeing our friends, teachers, and classmates, will stay with us forever. Some of these memories we won't get to make for the very last time, like the last time we might play a sport we love, the last time we might sing a solo in concert, or the last time we will just see a friend. They have unexpectedly been cut short. The last stretch of school is probably something now we wish we could go back to, and never thought we would miss so much, possibly something that we took for granted, but never will again. For the times that we did share together, we accomplished so many things, and should take this time to think of the positive and be proud of how far we have come, and how far we have yet to accomplish. In the 9th grade, we had a negative class account balance, and now we have just under $10,000 in our class account. Our sports teams have been filled with players and teammates who have gotten recognized for their skill and leadership. The National Honor Society has put together over 80 food baskets and distributed to them and families in our community. The Interact Club hosted a data retreat and is still very actively working to improve the school and perform acts of service around the community, and so many more accomplishments that are unique to each of you. These experiences cannot be taken from us, and we should feel very good about that. Despite the end of this year not going how we expected, we are a resilient group, a group that is adaptable and will persevere through these obstacles and overcome anything that is in our way. I cannot wait to hear about and see everything that we will accomplish, and not only myself, but a loving community is rooting for all of us. We will always have this in common and will always share these memories no matter the significance. Best of luck to you all.
Class of 2020. After 9/11, I'm sure our parents were worried about what kind of world we were to be brought up in. A world in which perhaps at any moment, a plane carrying great pain and sorrow could crash into our lives. Ironically, as our births were shadowed by 9/11, our graduation is upturned by COVID-19. So I guess our parents' fears were warranted. Over the course of our lives, and more recently our high school careers, we've experienced intense change, both great and terrible. We've seen an explosion of school shootings, which over the past 10 years have claimed the lives of hundreds of teachers and students. And every so often, we've had to defend our homes from extreme weather and natural disasters, most notably Tropical Storm Irene, as if Vermont's winter wasn't enough. But let's focus on the positives too. It's easy to forget, but only 13 years ago in 2007, the first iPhone was released. And a couple years before that, the majority of Americans still watch movies on VCR. Remember Blockbuster? And what is this miraculous gift of the internet? This infinitely vast sea of information the majority of us can access by just tapping on those metal glass rectangles in our pockets. These technological innovations have enriched our lives, increasing comfortability via easy access to entertainment and fostering a virtual ocean of ideological diversity. To put things in perspective, our great-grandparents would certainly deem what's going on today otherworldly. And likewise, I know this is a cliche, but I truly can't imagine what life would have been like before the internet. What I'm getting at here is this. As I'm sure you've all heard before, change is endemic to every generation, but the rate of change and technological evolution we are now experiencing is incredible. Moving like an accelerating passenger train with no brakes, we're holding on for dear life, just hoping for a positive outcome. I understand what I'm talking about here. Change is a broad topic, and is perhaps not the sort of thing to submit at graduation. So let me explain how change has commonly, yet individually, affected every one of us. Let's just look at the changes that have occurred at Mill River over our school careers. We're now on our third and I think possibly best principal, and in the past couple of years, we've all had to adopt this proficiency-based grading system. If this school ever had a consistent, quote, normal, these two factors, for better or worse, succeeded in completely obliterating it. So truly, mass change is running rampant even in our school lives, and it hasn't made them easy. Every couple months, it seems, having to get used to some new adjustment, regulation, or standard. But here's where I insert the hopeful idiom. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. If you're a senior and you're watching this, that means that you've survived, come out the other side intact, and I want to applaud you for that. Like I said before, it was not easy having to adapt to change in our school lives as often as we did, let alone the broader changes taking place outside our school. And now this, self-quarantine, lockdown, and online learning. It took considerable resiliency, strength, and perseverance from all of us to make it this far. But it also took a lot more than that. It took the support of our teachers who understood what we were going through during school reforms, which, remember, are just as difficult for them to accommodate as they are for us. It took the support of our parents who reassuringly reminded us when things got crazy that we were still going to come out on top in the end. An optimistic mindset that I predict will have a relevancy in our increasingly fast-paced, stressful, and technological lives. Lastly, for me, I know I could not have gotten through high school, and I mean this with dead honesty, if not for my friends. To be frank, it was with my friends that I savored each and every escape, to put it bluntly, from all school and life responsibilities. Whether it was playing soccer, going on a hike, driving to a higher ground concert, or simply sharing Fringe YouTube videos during lunch. Being penned up with the same people for 6 years added a whole other social dimension to my high school experience. And rarely in life do I expect to ever have another chance to get to know a group of peers so intimately as I did in high school. Thus, as we look forward to the coming years which will undoubtedly be filled with more unfathomable technological innovations, new crises, and what else is in store for us, we can be slightly reassured knowing that, intentionally or not, the changes we experienced in school and the respective challenges those raised confronting us, in a way, prepared us for the challenges we're sure to face in the future. Additionally, I have a feeling that meaningful human interaction will never cease to be our most important asset. I urge you in future times of distress to remember what exactly in your high school experience made your worst days so bearable. For me, it was my friends. Chances are what worked for you then will work again. I encourage you to think back on what gave you strength, what temporarily freed you from any physical or mental cages you were trapped in. Our memory of what we lived through for the past 6 years doesn't just disintegrate once we walk through those school doors for the last time. If that were the case, those years would be for nothing. If it turns out that your high school years are the best years of your life, why not try to dissect what made those years so special and why? Maybe you can apply something you did to your life then to your life now. Although our homes, our states, our country, our world, and ourselves are certain to undergo great changes in the years to come, I think that there are some things that never change. Friendship, mentorship, companionship, family, love. If any of these things cease to be valued in our society, now that will be the day it was a mistake to bring a child into this world. But we're not there yet, and I'm confident that as long as we keep these values close to our hearts, we have a bright future awaiting us. Thank you.
Hi everyone. While I wish we could be physically together right now, celebrating graduation and the end of this year, I am happy that we are able to celebrate our achievements together virtually. I appreciate all of you and that we have shared a significant part of our lives together at Mill River. I would like to take this time to reflect on my high school experience and what I have learned, and how it pertains to my life moving forward. Perhaps you will share some of these thoughts and experiences. This spring, I have thought considerably about how the end of my senior year has been affected by COVID-19 and remote learning. For me, I miss the baseball season and the marching band seasons most, both activities that I have enjoyed since 7th grade at Mill River. I miss handshakes in center field and joking around while playing catch. I miss the rivalry between the saxophone and trumpet sections and cramped bus rides to parades. I miss shagging fly balls during batting practice and seeing all of Mill River's instrumentalists from 7th through 12th grade together in one band. While I also miss playing baseball and marching in parades, it is the communities and connections that I have formed that I miss the most. Interestingly, I think that being deprived from these activities has made me appreciate them even more. And the same can be said for school in general. Learning online is simply not the same as learning in school together. If I have learned anything from this pandemic experience, it is to appreciate what I have in the moment, because I never know when it will drastically change. Another important aspect of my high school experience that I have been able to reflect on recently is the learning and growth that has occurred. When I think back to who we were in 9th grade, I see different people than who we are today. We have all grown and changed in the past 4 years, mostly for the better. Personally, I know I am smarter, nicer, more thoughtful, more creative, more handsome, more enthusiastic, more helpful, more funny, more charming, and perhaps most importantly, more modest than before. In all seriousness though, our growth wouldn't have occurred without the hard work and motivation. It was not easy shifting to proficiency-based learning or giving a presentation in front of the entire class, or getting out of bed every morning, especially when the snow day calculator said there was an 80% chance of no school in the morning. But because we worked through these challenges and put in effort, we became the outstanding people we are now. A large part of that growth wouldn't have happened without the support of our parents, our teachers, our mentors, and the larger Mill River community. I would like to take a moment to thank them for all their efforts. Even though we are outstanding people, there is no reason to stop there. Learning is a lifelong process. Just think about how often we have to teach our parents and our grandparents how to use a smartphone. That will be us someday. I have mentioned 2 important takeaways from my high school experience. Appreciate what you enjoy and never stop growing. Both are great, but by themselves, they are incomplete. If I always focused on what I appreciate in the moment, but never strive for growth, I would be playing baseball and marching in parades at Mill River for the rest of my life. If I always focused on the next challenge and obstacle, but never thought about what I have, I would never be able to enjoy myself. So I challenge you all in your next adventures to never stop learning and love life. Thank you.
Good evening. I am extremely proud of this class. The class of 2020 has endured quite a bit over their 6 years at Mill River. I am proud of all of you because you're listening to this speech right now. You've made it. You're graduating. I know this is not how you wanted to hear me, but we're going to have to make the most of it. Let's try and put the last 3 months behind us and focus on what makes the class of 2020 the class it is. It's Megan Chapin wearing Crocs in just about the deepest snow possible. It's Tyler Shelby and Colby Fox trying to get out of class to help Miss Maneri with whatever she needs. It's Morgan Gagne walking around school with a camera taking pictures of just about everything. It's Gary Burnett hanging out in the main office talking with Mrs. Bride. It's Casey Cook and Jenna Spoth complaining to me about whatever is bothering them at that moment on that day. It's Julian Downey and Kayla Page being adjoined at the hip. It's Kelsey Sanford Wilson running everywhere where she could just walk. It's Rachel and Kean White being late to just about everything. It's Joe Wimley just being Joe Wimley. It's Aaron Phillips giving me a head nod in the hall every morning just to say, hey. You know, I could go on and on about all of you for a long time because I've gotten to know you over the last 6 years in a very good way. However, Mrs. Bride keeps me to 2 minutes for this speech, so I have to keep moving. Sorry. Another thing this class knows is change. There's been quite a bit of change over the last 6 years at Mill River. For most of you in your 8th grade year, you got a new assistant principal, me. Your schedules have changed frequently. Your friends group have changed. I became your principal last year, and you got a new assistant principal this year, Ms. McLemore. And probably the biggest thing is you're finishing your senior year not at Mill River. You're finishing at home. This has been a huge change for everyone that is watching this ceremony, but you've adapted to it. You adapted to a new form of instruction, and you made it here, to graduation. For that, I applaud you. What you've learned in the last 3 months will set the foundation for being successful in the rest of your life. No, it's not the content your teachers taught you, although it's very helpful. It's the ability to adapt to whatever life throws at you, and you've been thrown quite a bit in these last few months. I know you've heard many people say to you that you're in the most uncertain and ever-changing time of your life. It's completely true. Your life will be full of changes over the next 10 years. I urge you to find excitement in those changes and challenge yourself. Please remember, as you venture out into the real world, my door is always open to chat. Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
Hello, Mill River seniors. Congratulations on making it to this day, your graduation day. We are proud of you, and I hope that you are proud of yourselves for all that you've accomplished. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but 6 years ago when you began your careers as Mill River students, I began my career in the Mill River School District. You're the first class that I've been able to see all the way through from 7th grade through senior year. For that shared experience with you, I'm grateful and I'm excited for what the future holds for you. It is my pleasure at this time to recognize this group by certifying and affirming to the Board of Education and to the Agency of Education that these graduates who are about to be recognized have met all of the requirements, expectations, and proficiencies expected of a graduate from Mill River Union High School. With great pleasure, let's let the reading of the names begin. Cole Eugene Ains. Hannah Beth Anderson. Jamie Saris Ashcroft Billing. Emma Deborah Louise Baker. Ilan Raphael Berman. David Joseph Blay. Fanny Florence Boulanger. Emily Renee Boulay. Alexis Samantha Bowen. Molly Marie Brusso. Madison Ashley Buffum. Rhiannon Marie Buffum. Gary Allen Burnett. Anthony Michael Kange. Charlotte Marie Chamberlain. Megan Elizabeth Chapin. Casey Noel Cook. Sarah Jean Damaris, Joel Timothy Domus, Julian Leonard Downey, Benjamin Allen English, Sophia Carolina Elizabeth Leden Erfelt, Autumn Elise Farmer, William Holden Farwell, Sarah Michelle Flanders, Clenna Arlene Fowler, Colby William Fox, Morgan Lynn Gagne, Daniel Hazen Graves, Ian Jacob Haskins, Abigail Faith Herrera, Talia Kate Hutt Vader, Ethan Paul Jepson, Matthew Jacob King, Evan Lee Hammond LaRoche, Tristan Cole Loudon, Aaliyah Sandra Luna, Adam Daniel Luzader, Luke Jacob McIntosh, Sadira Genevieve Majorel, Ryan David Mason, Colin Hunter McCutcheon, Emmett Clearview Miller, Allison Rachel Nemeth, Caleb Thomas Page, Hannah Lee Page, Madison Andrea Parker, Christopher Michael Peer Jr., Susanna Ruth Petrossi, Aaron Michael Phillips, Rosalie Ann Phillips, Charmaine Marie Post, Joshua Kingdon Ray, Tyler James Regula, Monica Marie Rickert, Jessica Lynn Roberts, Jaron Thomas Roshan, Ashlyn Sky Haley Rumrill, Kelsey Rebecca Sanford Wilson, Hannah Ray Schoengarth, Jude Benin Sale, Calvin Arthur Seward. Kelsey Gail Sheehy. Tyler Lee Shelby. Abigail May Smith. Cameron Thomas Smith. Macy Quinn Delorme Smith. Jenna Snowland Spath. Alexander James St. Marie. Alexander Xavier Wallace Stanley Miller. Sierra Rose Stocker. McKenna Alyssa Todd. Alicia Doris Town. Anissa Marie Trueheart. Kian Robert White. Rachel Margaret White. Elijah Clark Williams. Joseph James Wimley. Michael Christopher Work. Haley Cheyenne Wyman. Amber Madison Young.